Hello everyone, this is VGC Mike back again with more Regulation I content. This time I'm bringing you my Terapagos-Calyrex-Shadow Rider team. This duo is very powerful because you can either go full force Calyrex-Shadow Rider or full force Terapagos. Terapagos is personally what I usually end up using. The Calm Mind set is very powerful in Regulation I. You can support him with your Incineroar and your Rillaboom. You can usually almost always get a good Calm Mind up, and then after one or two Calm Minds, he's just going to start tearing through the opponents. Now, Calyrex-Shadow Rider can also do quite a bit of damage. He covers any fighting type restricted Pokemon like Koraidons pretty easily with his Psychic attack, and him being a Psychic type Pokemon. But you can also help support Terapagos with Encore. Encore is actually really handy on this team because you have two Fake Out users. The most common four Pokemon I'm usually bringing are Calyrex, Terapagos, Incineroar, and Rillaboom. So there are certain times where you have a pin where you use Fake Out and Attack, and then if they do end up using Protect to block the Fake Out, then Calyrex can Encore them. Encore is also really handy for situations where someone might be setting up, and maybe they set up a little too much and it becomes an issue, like against a rival Terapagos team if they start setting up Calm Minds, and you can handle their other Pokemon very easily. Then you can just Encore the Terapagos and then attack the Pokemon that you didn't Encore with your two Pokemon. And just keep doing that until they only have their one Pokemon left, and then you just keep them Encore locked, and it's usually just GG from there. Urshifu Rapid Strike's on this team as well. He's very good into opposing Calyrex-Shadow Riders. He's also very good when you have two Fake Out users on the team because Urshifu attacks your Protect, as most people know by now. And then last but not least, we have Grimmsnarl. This is a very special Grimmsnarl. We only use this Grimmsnarl against Zamazenta. And usually it's going to be the Zamazenta Calyrex-Shadow Rider team. I did not find a game on the casual ladder. I did find 3 games that were Regulation I, but I did not find a Regulation I team that was using Zamazenta. And I definitely didn't find a Calyrex-Shadow Zamazenta team. But I did play against a number of those teams on Pokemon Showdown, and I do have a battle for you that I saved at this timestamp if you want to check it out, and it'll kind of show you how we play this Grimmsnarl. So basically the idea here, if you couldn't tell, is we use Imprison to block Zamazenta from being able to use Body Press. It also stops the opposing Pokemon from using Fake Out. So if they end up using like Rillaboom and or Incineroar, they won't be able to use that to stall or to slow down your Terapagos as you are trying to attack. So far it's been very successful. Definitely a little bit of a best of one kind of spicy tech, but so far I've been doing really well with it. So I'm not so sure if it is just pure best of one cheese or if it's just actually really good, because the funny thing is again, I would recommend watching the battle that I link towards the end of the video, but it's actually pretty hard for the Zamazenta to deal with because you don't even have to stay on with Grimmsnarl. I'll leave that for you to check out later. And other than that, I want to thank everybody for helping me pass 800 subscribers recently. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you are enjoying this type of content and this type of team building, please subscribe, please like the video. It does help out the channel a lot. And I'm sure we'll get past 1,000 subscribers very soon with your support. But with that out of the way, let's battle. Hey, this is Regulation I. Yeah, I think I like Rillaboom and Terapagos here. We will bring Calyrex and Incineroar. Incineroar is good into Zacian. It's good into Rillaboom. It's good into Lunala if we don't get snapped by the Meteor Beam, so... Okay, opponent does lead with the Suicune. I'm not super surprised because Suicune does have Snarl. Suicune's a Pokemon I'm actually a really big fan of and have made teams with before. There was a team back in the original Regulation G that was probably the last team that I made that had an Assault Vest Suicune with Snarl, Icy Wind, some sort of water attack, and I can't remember what the last move was, but it was pretty solid. Suicune has massive special defense in the first place, so... Okay, they just let me Calm Mind up. Let's see if they snarl. Oh, it's just Tailwind. Okay, I'm not too upset about that. So I think... Do I need a second Calm Mind? I'm still not a super big fan of the idea of them snarling, so I am going to just try to take out Suicune before I set up more Calm Minds. Okay. That was a very good Tera, obviously. I did consider just using my Tera, but I didn't really want to use it too early. Okay, they do have Snarl. So yeah, as you can see with Snarl, they're not going to end up that's still a lot of damage. Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I mean, Rillaboom can really mess these guys up here. You know, I think I'm okay with... I kind of wish I did this last turn, obviously, but let's just go for it. Even if they Snarl again, it should still be decent damage. And if we get the KO here, Zacian should be pretty much screwed because we have Incineroar in the back, so he's going to be forced out. Okay, good damage. They're after Rillaboom. That's probably bad for them, because this should definitely KO now, I would think. Yep. I don't know if Rillaboom picks up the KO with an attack drop, but... So no terrain and an attack drop. He does live. That's not the end of the world. Rillaboom lives as well. Let's try another Tera. And we'll bring in Incineroar and see if the Intimidate helps us out here. They double up. Probably not great. Or they just go Wicked Blow though. It does a lot. They do go after Incin. Okay. So, I guess the fear is... if they just choose to attack with both here, because I'm expecting Protect since we have Incineroar with Fake Out online, but they could just ignore this altogether. We also don't know if the Urshifu is like Choice Banded or something, which means he doesn't even have the chance to protect. Yeah, he just goes on the offensive. He did not care. And the Urshifu just attacked as well. Yeah, he might be banded. So that was not a good play. I don't think we have much of a choice though. We kind of have to go in on this. Only other, yeah, no, this is the only really viable play, I would say. I guess depending on how much damage we end up doing, there is still a chance. They just keep attacking though. I mean, the crit, that's good. We might be able to knock out Urshifu from here then. We did. We did a lot to Zacian too. Yeah, we might be able to make this work. It's unfortunate that they're going to gain, you know, a good chunk of health here, but I am a little worried about getting knocked out from my own recoil, but the Zacian's still surviving. Okay. So maybe with Rocky Helmet Chip and a Wood Hammer we can make this work. And then if they don't actually go after Incineroar, then we'll just win with Flare Blitz. Okay. Yeah, and they live. Rillaboom does also live, though. 2 more turns of terrain, so still a chance. See if they protect. They do. Okay. Oh, they just go for the double. Okay, we did it. Yeah, I made a really crazy read there, honestly. I don't think it was that crazy altogether. Obviously, the double protect was definitely a potential. But yeah, I can't believe they didn't protect either. That was what made it really, really bad. But knowing... I mean, yeah, I mean, even with that really bad turn... I don't think they misplayed at the end there, so unless the crit mattered, then we did everything right, and it still, even though it was a bad play, it did not end up costing us the game, even without the... There's times where you get back into the game because the opponent misplays, but this was not one of those times. This was just, we still had it on lock and made it work. Okay, Regulation I, Sun Team. It's a little scary. So I think we'll be relying on Calyrex for sure here. But Pagos... Let me see. I think we have to at least start with Pagos. Pagos is actually really bad into this combo though, because the Reshiram has an ability, or it has a move that will go through our Terra Shell. So, I mean, to be honest, everything but Calyrex is looking real rough here. Do we want double fake out even though Rilla is bad into everything? Or do we want Urshifu? Urshifu could be decent if we can get rid of the sun. I think we'll just play it with double fake out. We do still have some advantages here. Okay. So let's Calm Mind up. And I'm kind of okay with just going straight into attack mode with a Flare Blitz. I don't really have any reason to fake out Whimsicott. It's probably got Covert Cloak anyway. Okay. So they're getting Tailwind ready. They're just going to start attacking. So that's fine with me. I kind of sensed it. I don't know why. I just felt like it was coming. Okay. Cool. Now we protect, and we Flare Blitz the Whimsicott. Because we don't want to get Encored into Calm Mind in this situation. They didn't even try that, and they crit. They're getting so lucky with their Moonblast. They got the special attack drop, and they have the crit on Incineroar. Incineroar is almost down for the count here. Okay, here's Flutter Mane. And I think what I'll do here is just double switch. So I'll bring in Calyrex and Rillaboom. They could do a lot of different things to cover for this. But we can't really afford for Pagos to just go down. They already got rid of our what did they go after? Okay, Rillaboom. Yep. I figured it would probably be that way. So I'm going to attempt a Psychic and a Grassy Glide. This might be a double protect, but that still is good because that's still decent for us because of the fact that we are trying to get through Tailwind. Yep. And I think I'll use my Tera now. And oh, you know what? I forgot I had this. Yeah, let's just Encore and Grassy Glide. So this is perfect, because otherwise we would have had to think about the flame charge play. Yeah, so they probably would have lived this. Yeah, Encore is very good. Especially with Terapagos, there's a lot of times where you can just kind of protect your Terapagos. Yep. And it's extra cool because we did not have to get rid of our Tera, which means that we can send Terapagos in now, and then we can use our terrestrialization just to get rid of the sun. They concede, which yeah, I think we pretty much had that locked there. But yeah, that was one of our scarier matchups in Koraidon, and he didn't really get to do anything there because we scared him with the double fake out. Well, we scared them with fake out, which caused them to protect. Talon ran out, and then we won the game very easily with Encore there. Okay, this is the rare Lugia team. They do have Whimsicott though. They have a lot of things actually. Nuzzle, that definitely feels bad. But you know what? We just bring our Pokemon. We bring the main Pokemon, our main 4. We bring them about 75-80% of the time. And that's just about all you need. Okay. So I am going to Calm Mind up and Flare Blitz the Whimsicott so that it can't Encore me next turn. They immediately Tera, which is suspicious. Stellar Tera. Okay, this is a strategy where you can guarantee critical hits with the Lugia. I haven't seen this, I don't think, since Sword and Shield. So our Calm Minds will not be very good here. We still have Terra Shell though. Yikes. Okay. So definitely are going to need to leave our turtle. Trying to think. Urshifu. Okay. I think this will probably be a double knockout, but I'm kind of okay with the double knockout. Let's do this. And okay. Wasn't the order I was expecting, but that's fine. And also we know that the Urshifu is not we know that the Urshifu is not We know the Urshifu is not Choice Scarf. I do think I need to kind of try to call out a Protect here. They might just both have Protect. Okay. Yep, so they both have Protect. So we're gonna Encore Lugia and I'm gonna Grassy Glide because I do want to pick up the Astral. He might be Focus Sash. That would make a lot of sense, but I just want to make sure that we end up getting these KOs and getting our boosts because we can't one-shot Zacian. Cool. Cool. Ooh, okay, nice. And we Encore. So that Lugia, actually scary. But now it's screwed. And I'm really glad I kept the Water Tera on Calyrex. I actually was playing with what's it called? I was playing with Stellar actually, because I figured with the Focus Sash was the difference, but then I realized that the one thing that absolutely screws Calyrex, the Focus Sash version of Calyrex, is Urshifu. And for cases like this where the Terapagos didn't get set up, it makes a lot of sense to go for a setup like this. Or go for a Tera like this. They get a double Protect, which is a little unfortunate, and because we didn't get our Sash set back up. So if we don't live whatever attack they go for here, Play Rough is probably the scariest. We might have been able to Grassy Glide there. Oh, that is so sad. Yeah. I guess Grassy Glide was the call there. Because now we just lose to Lugia. Damn. We had that game so bad too. I'm just not fully used to some of these calcs. Because even if the Zacian protected, that should have still been fine, because then we would have had our Sash set up next turn, and I believe we would get a KO on the Lugia. But even if we didn't, we could still just Encore one of them and know that our Calyrex would be able to take an attack with the Sash. So I guess I threw that game a little bit, but yeah, unfortunate. Alright, and like mentioned at the beginning of the video, I do have a Zamazenta matchup to show you guys. This is on Pokemon Showdown, and this was relatively high up in the ladder. It should show the ratings at the end, but I think we're both in the 1400s. As of right now, this was shortly after this battle took place. I did get pretty high up on the ladder. Let me see here. So yeah, this is one of my alternate accounts I use, but right now we're 431 on the ladder. I think I was at 350, but I haven't played in a couple days, and the ladder's progressing kind of rapidly because we're at the early beginning of the format. So doing pretty good. This isn't like super new account, low level battles, but let's check this out. Okay, so I lead Terapagos and Grimmsnarl, and they lead Incineroar and Rillaboom. I usually see them lead Zamazenta, so that's why I ended up just leading Grimmsnarl to be kind of prepared for that. But because they didn't, I just switched my Grimmsnarl out right away, get an Intimidate on both Pokemon, protect Terapagos. Unfortunately, they do not actually end up attacking Terapagos, so that was a pointless protect. But I do set up my Calm Mind on the following turn. They switch out, breaks the Terra Shell, but doesn't really matter. And then here's the Zamazenta. They have Parting Shot, so they bring us back to neutral attack or special attack. And then I Parting Shot out to lower the Zamazenta's attack. Okay, so here I Fake Out and Calm Mind with my Terapagos. They go for a Surging Strikes. I wasn't really worried about close combat because our Terra Shell did get reset back up. So I just want to set up my Calm Mind, get a little stronger. And then they switch out into Incineroar, and this is when we imprison with the Grimmsnarl. So the Zamazenta was unable to use Body Press. It says right here, the opposing Zamazenta can't use its sealed Body Press. So this means that they did attempt to use it, and it didn't work, obviously. Now the funny thing is, like I said earlier, Grimmsnarl also has Fake Out. So this Incineroar can't, they can't Fake Out Terapagos, and the Rillaboom, if it comes back in, it won't be able to use Fake Out either. So Terapagos is set up pretty decently right now, and we don't have to worry about Body Press anymore. Now, I wasn't really aware of this calc, but Terapagos, if I were to Terastalize and use Earth Power, it does like 90% to Zamazenta. So that was something I should have considered. I didn't find that out until later, but now I should say that my Terapagos has quite a bit of special attack, so not all Terapagos after a single Calm Mind would do that much necessarily, but mine does do quite a bit. Also, the guy I'm facing is instantly not thrilled with the Imprison tech on Grimmsnarl. Okay, so we got rid of the Incineroar. Start dealing some Body Press damage. Now you will notice that Grimmsnarl does take quite a bit of damage. He does live a Behemoth Bash and a Heavy Slam, regardless of if you get an attack drop or not. So just be aware that he can take at least one. But now that we have already... That's super cheesy. Now that we have taken that one damage, I'm just going to switch into Incineroar. And Incineroar soaks that up really well because he resists steel attacks. And if you... yeah, he's not happy. But yeah, funny enough, the Rillaboom over here is like constantly resetting my my Terra Shell. So they just can't really do anything to me. And the turn... I believe this turn here they quit. So basically I protect because I knew that Urshifu could break through my protect, but it was an awkward... The turn order was too awkward for them because they want to get this big Body Press off. So they end up going with Aqua Jet to break the Terra Shell first so they could get the one-hit KO. I don't really mind if you hit me with Aqua Jet. I wouldn't even really mind it if you hit me with Close Combat because I am lowering his attack. And the Terra Shell just, it wouldn't have ended up doing that much at the end of the day. So I decided to just protect Terapagos because I can't afford to lose him, but I don't really care if they did decide to double up on my Incineroar and take him out. So I just went for the Parting Shot, and yeah, he says lame, and bring Grimmsnarl back in, and here I just have a free Imprison, and I could just start nuking everything. And then from there, it shouldn't have been too difficult to pick up the win, and we got Terra Shell back once again. So yeah, he was 1443. At the time, I was 1418. I did go on to win a couple more games from there, and currently 1457. Let's see. 27 and 8. A lot of these losses were me trying to experiment with this team. So I always knew it was going to be Terapagos, Calyrex, Incineroar, Rillaboom. I experimented a lot with these two. At one point I was trying like a Volcarona with Quiver Dance. Another point I had like Ogerpon and Urshifu. I tried a couple different versions of Ogerpons. I tried Brute Bonnet at one point just because I really liked him on the other team. But and I still have some other ideas. Like if someone wanted to play a little bit more straightforward, like best of 3 style team, then maybe you wouldn't want to use this Grimmsnarl. I do think that regular Grimmsnarl isn't even that bad. Now that I know that +1 Calm Mind Terapagos can basically one-shot Zamazenta, Thunderwave doesn't even seem that bad. The only thing about that is then it becomes a little bit more of a 50-50, because if they Terra and body press you, then they can knock you out. But then there's that other it's almost not even a 50-50, because then you could also threaten to use your Tera Starstorm, and that would definitely knock him out if he went, Terra Dragon or something. But then he could also wide guard. So that's the problem with Zamazenta, in my opinion. Obviously, he's very good. This team was the only thing that was giving my Terapagos team a problem. And that's why I was experimenting so much with these last two, is because I figured once I had this figured out, I don't mind bringing these 4 to like 80% of matchups. I never really feel like I can't do anything. The Zamazenta matchup it didn't even feel like it was unwinnable. It just felt like it was so inconsistent what I was able to do. And it usually came down to calling a wide guard, calling out the Zamazenta on attacking me. And I wanted something that was a little bit more streamlined and wasn't fully reliant on reads, because every player is going to do things differently. So that's where I came up with this Grimmsnarl. And I think he's the only prankster Pokemon that really gets body press. So it's body press and imprison probably. So it's pretty hilarious. I definitely want to play it some more and see if I can get some games, recorded on the Switch to show you guys eventually. But let me know what you think, because this is one of my more creative Pokemon. Obviously the team is not super new. This squad has been making the rounds lately, but I think this is one of the more creative solutions to a 6th Pokemon that I've come up with in a while. So let me know what you think. Have a good one, and happy battling.